Hey, we're playing My Maria by Brooks Dunn as a request for a friend from the Morristown Uke Jam from Michigan. And we're playing it straight from the charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So take the link in the video description, download the free ukulele song sheet, and you can play along with us. And if you'll be anywhere near Morristown, New Jersey, come out and play with us. After the song, we'll do a basic tutorial together with a slow motion close-up play along you might find helpful. Now here goes. My Maria, don't you know I've come a long, long way. I've been longing to see her when she's around. She takes my blues away. Sweet Maria, the sunlight surely hurts my eyes. I'm a lonely dreamer on a highway in disguise. My Maria, there were some blue and sorrow times. Just my thoughts about you bring back my peace of mind. Gypsy lady, you're a miracle work for me. You set my soul free like a ship sailing on the sea. My Maria, I love you, girl. Oh, my Maria, Maria, I love you, girl. Maria, I love you. My Maria, I love you, girl. Oh, my Maria, Maria, I love you, girl. Maria, I love you. Yeah, it just makes me want to go find a Maria and kiss her or something. Thank you, Steve. That was Steve. Good buddy. All right. What are we doing here? This is a 3-chord song. How cool is that? There's a little tab in the beginning. By the way, if you are a beginner or you just don't want to work that hard, then I'll show you a couple ways that you can make it easier. First thing would be, if you're not interested in doing the tab is not hard. So if you love the song and you want to do it, practice a little and you'll be able to do the tab. But if you don't want to work that hard, then I'd suggest just play the chords like this. 1. Whoops, sorry. My Maria. Right? That works just fine. If you're going to do that, if you're not going to play the tab, then I'd suggest... Oh, and if you're not going to do anything special, if you don't have a partner to play along with you or whatever, if you're just going to play a simple solo version with no tab and no extra panache, then I would suggest skip the second intro. Just play chords in the first intro. Just basically play the first line as an intro, and then skip the second intro and skip the instrumental chorus and the extra couple. Just after the last bridge, do the chorus twice and call it done. Because if you're doing a simpler version, you just don't have to be that repetitive. It would probably go over better if you just keep it simple and short. But that would be really nice because it's a lovely song. It's a wonderful song. So what did I do for the strum? Most of it, I mean, it changes from the verse to the chorus, but from the verse, the verse is all C, G, F, right? But there's a pause before. And you can rap if you want, or you can just kind of, most of the time I just kind of hit the strings instead of actually knocking. But it was a deliberate pause. Pause, C, G, F, pause. Right, so the most important thing, I mean, you can rap, like I said, if you want to rap it, you could do that, a little percussion. But the most important thing is that it not be a chord. The natural thing would kind of be to have a C. C. And actually that sounds pretty good. But I think it's closer to the way they play it in the song. Because they do it's basically this note. It's like a bass light. It's, you know. So that's the pause, is when they're doing that, right? And they do that throughout the song. So just pause, C, G, F. Pause. I just noticed something else. I called it a percussive strum because I had that pause, right? I'm doing something else with my left hand. I'm dampening it a little bit. You notice how I made it stop with my left hand? Right? Stop, stop. Now that's pretty much the whole verse. My Maria, you know I come a long, long way. The whole thing, just over and again. The fun of the verse is the melody, right? And the harmonies that Steve was singing. But the guitar work, or the ukulele work here, is just repetitive. If you can get that strum, you got the whole verse, because that's all it is. All right, and then the chorus, sure, the verses, or excuse me, the chords you play change a little in their sequence. It's still just C, G, and F, but change a little bit in their sequence. But the other significant change, stop doing the pause, stop doing the percussive dampening, just let it ride fully, right? And it'll sound like a fuller thing. It'll sound like you got a couple extra instruments playing in there. Something it's... See, it's not stopping. Full music. The only thing I'm going to talk about, I mean, the strum is a little different. What I wrote it out in there: down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. I think I might have written it down wrong. I'll have to correct that before I send it out. Anyway, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. Oh, sorry. That's a quick switch back from that G and F at the end. I put their F in red because you could skip it if you want. If you have trouble doing it that fast, then just skip the F and it'll be easier. It'll sound like this. Marie. See, you didn't even notice it. But the way I was playing it, Marie. Right? I went quickly. Whoops, actually it was up. That's the quick G to F. I'll do it in slow motion in a little bit. But the quick from G to F back. And then the second line in the chorus. By the way, the only difference between the choruses, I called it a Maria chorus and a My Maria chorus, because when he sings the first chorus, he doesn't say My Maria. He says Maria instead. It's the only difference between the two choruses. I wanted to be faithful to Brooks and Dunn. That's the only difference between the choruses, though. So the first one is it's the same. It's you know, the ukulele work or the strumming, the chord work is the same. The second line. On that F, here's what I'm doing. You're holding the F and the C for twice as long as the other chords, right? Normally it's C, G, F, C, F, G, F. So the G, F, that's half as much time on the first line. But then second line, C, G, F, C, F, and it stays there, F, C, and it stays there. So you're staying on the F longer, you're staying on the C longer at the end of that second line. But what I do on that F, I'm doing right? I got the F. I'm just dropping my ring finger down on the A string, on the C, or to make it a C, you know, to make a C out of the A string there on the 3rd fret of the A string. And that's it. That's the only thing I didn't write that in. Sorry, I didn't know how to write that in without it messing up the whole chord sheet. So I didn't do that. All right, now I'm just gonna do the intro. Excuse me, I didn't talk about the tab, did I? I talked about how to shortcut the intro by just doing the chords, but I didn't talk about what I actually do on the tab. The tab is actually quite easy, at least if you do it the way I do it. Everything I do is not that hard because I'm not that good. But here's what I do with the tab. I'm using 3 fingers. I don't use the G string, and it doesn't matter if you have a high G, that's okay too. It'll sound just fine. But I'm not using that on the intro. I'm only, other than the strumming of the chords, I'm using these 3 fingers on the high 3 strings, and they stay in place on those 3 strings. So here's what I'm doing. I mean, I have it written out in the tab, but keeping those fingers on those strings. Here we go. Let's see if I can get closer. I'm doing it this way. So this on the 2nd string here, right? I don't know why I have a harder time. I form an F at the beginning of this. I don't need to because I'm not playing the F, right? But somehow I found it easier to do it right if I put my fingers as if it were an F. And then I'm never actually playing this string. But 2nd string, and then quickly, that's it. Right, you hear that? I'm hammering on, basically. Start out with an open, so it's, well, sorry, pause, and then you notice, remember I said, keep those fingers on those strings, and I'm hammering on. I'm not doing it it's easier actually to do it fast, because if you do it fast, you'll hear it. That's the tab. That's all it is. My Maria. That's it. So now I'm gonna go slow motion through the tab, the verse, and the chorus. I'm gonna skip the bridge because the bridge is easy enough. It's repetitive. But so tab, 1 verse, 1 chorus, in slow motion, close up on my left hand, so that if you want to see all my chord transitions and play along in slow motion, you might find that helpful. If you don't want to stick around for that, don't stick around for that. But if you like the video, please like the video. If you want lots more, check out our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it if you want. It's free, of course, and go to our Meetup site or our Dropbox and get hundreds more song sheets downloadable for free. So, and then come play with us, because we love it when you do that. All right, now, slow motion. Close up, here goes. 1, 2, 3. My Maria, don't you know I come a long, long way? I've been longing to see her when she's around. She takes my blues away. Sweet Maria, the sunlight surely hurts my eyes. I'm a lonely dreamer on a highway in the skies. That's it. See you Wednesday. Bye.